Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum to all of you. I hope that you all are fine, happy, and fresh. This is your science teacher, Muhammad Mashood Khan, and today we are going to discuss about current and its measurement, and we will talk about voltage. So, first, we will discuss about current and its measurement. Current or electricity is flow of electrons in a circuit containing a light bulb. The size of electric current can be judged by looking at the brightness of the bulb. This method is not accurate to measure current. That's why ammeter is used to measure current. So, what is current? Current or electricity is just the flow of electrons. And how to measure the current? Previously, it was done by just checking out the light. If the bulb was glowing with great intensity, so it was believed that the amount of electricity flowing through it is greater. And if the bulb was not glowing with great intensity, so it was considered that the current is not enough, or it's not that much great. So but that believing got old when we got an ammeter, because with an ammeter they can measure the current accurately. So what is an ammeter? Ammeter is a device that measures the current, and the unit of current we all know is amperes. So ammeter and its working. An ammeter is always connected in a circuit because it measures the current flowing through it. There are two connectors on ammeter. One is labeled positive and one is labeled negative. So ammeter, this is something that how ammeter is used, how we can measure the current in a circuit. So ammeter is just connected in a circuit so that all the current pass through the ammeter. So it will measure the amount of current which is passed through it. So it has two terminals. You can see in the figure also, one is the positive one and one is the negative. This is how it is connected in a circuit. So it will give the exact accurate reading of the current. The next we will talk about is the voltage. Voltage is the force that pushes electrons through a circuit to produce electricity. Current is the act of the electrons flowing through the circuit. The higher the voltage, the more energy each electron is given. So we talked about electric current, that current is just the flow of electron in a circuit. So the question arises, how these electrons flow in a circuit, how the current is increased or decreased, why we say the voltage is important factor in a circuit. So voltage is basically the push or the force which is given to the electron in a circuit to move through the circuit. So as you can see in the figure, we have just taken the example of we have a piston and it is filled with some fluid. So when the piston will move, it will push the fluid to move out. So in the same way, the voltage is basically the push to electrons, just like this piston is pushing the fluid to move out of it. So greater the push, with the greater amount of the fluid will come out of this pipe. So same is the case, greater the voltage, greater will be the current. And you can see, if we will push this piston slowly, very little amount of fluid will come out. And if we push this fluid with very great force, the great amount of fluid will come out of the pipe. So same thing happens in the circuit. And who provides this push? Who gives this push to the electrons? That is the source which we usually consider that the battery or the cells are the source which provide this push to the electrons to move in the circuit. So greater the push, greater will be the flow. greater the voltage, greater will be the current. You can see in the figure also. Now we will discuss some more about the source of voltage. So a battery, also known as a cell, provides a source of electrical energy. A battery ensemble is made up of two or more cells. In a circuit, cells provide the push that makes current flow. This is called its voltage. This is represented by the symbol V, measured in volts V. So just as we discussed earlier, that who provides this push to the electron? So basically it's a battery or a cell which is providing a push to the electrons in a circuit. Usually if we talk about any electrical appliance in which the current is flowing, definitely the cell or a battery is behind it. If we talk about the small, if we take an example of a small toy, so you will see that if it is working with electricity, it will be having some cells or battery in it. So these cells or battery give the push to the charges so that they can run in a circuit, and they are of different sizes and different voltages. You will experience, if you take any cell, there will be voltage rated on it. Some will be of 1.5, some will be of 3.5, and similarly they are of different voltages. We have different cell of different voltages. So according to our necessity, according to our demand, we have different cells for different purposes. So here is a figure. You can see the charges are moving in a circuit, and when they pass through the cell is providing a push to the charges, and you can see that the charges are moving up and then they are moving in a forward direction in a circuit. So this is considered as the charges are moving in a circuit, and there is a cell in a circuit which is providing the voltage. Voltage means that basically the cell is providing the push to the charge to move up and go through the whole circuit. So it is providing sufficient energy that it is moving throughout the circuit. You can see there are bulbs also attached in a circuit. So when these electrons pass through these bulbs, so they give their energy to the bulb, and in result the bulb also glows. So you can see clearly that how the push is provided to the electrons. These red are considered electrons, and the battery, you can see in the figure that there is a cell which is providing some push to the electrons, so they are moving in a circuit. So the question arises now, how voltage is measured? So we say voltage is measured by a voltmeter. Unlike ammeter, voltmeter is connected across a component in the circuit. As we discussed about the ammeter previously, so ammeter was connected in the circuit and the current was passing through it. But in voltmeter, it is connected across the appliance you are trying to measure the voltage. You can see this voltmeter has two terminals, and these two terminals are kept across that component across which you want to check out the voltage. So this is how this voltmeter works. So the next thing is voltages round a circuit. A battery or the power supply provides the total voltage for the circuit. The voltage across all components in a circuit must always add up to the supply voltage. The voltage is shared out between the components of the circuit. It is a very important point that, for example, you can see from the figure that the battery attached to the circuit is of 9 volts, and there are two bulbs which are in the circuit. So if we will measure the voltage across these bulbs, so voltage will be equally divided across both the bulbs. You can see if the battery is of 9 volt, so the voltage across each bulb is 4.5 and 4.5 respectively. And if there will be only one battery which is of 9 volt and there is only one bulb, so you can see the whole voltage is appearing across this one bulb which is 9 volt. So this is how, so it says that voltage is equally divided among all the components of the circuit, and the sum of these voltages must be equal to the total voltage that is provided to the circuit. So I hope that you will learn this all, and if you will be having any question, definitely inshallah you will ask me. Stay safe, stay happy, stay blessed.